Welcome to the SportsCon. Here on YouTube, I'm your host Daniel, here to talk about the 49ers trading away Alex Smith to the Chiefs for a second-round pick and a conditional mid-round pick. I'm sure you've all heard about this by now. Smith, after 8 years with the team, now going someplace new to try and revive his career again from the dusk with another head coach. What is this, the fourth one now? Yeah, I think so. Anyway, it's been a great time, really, with Alex Smith in San Francisco. Well, and by great, I mean, it's been really a roller coaster ride, his 8 years here. The first 6, were just kind of unbearable. The high point, really, of the first 6 was him getting drafted. And then it was kind of a gradual slope going down, and then it just kind of went down. Somewhere in the between there, and it just seemed like, the drop would never end. Mike Nolan, of course, was the coach when he first was there, and Singletary took over. Looked like it was going to do well under Singletary, but that ended up being a bust as well. When Mike was 5-10 in 2010, they eventually replaced him with Jim Harbaugh, and that's where really Alex kind of got his career revived. Really, when Harbaugh came back to town, he turned him into his game manager. And then the high point came back again, where the roller coaster stopped going down and finally came up a bit. And it came back up enough for us to all believe in Alex Smith. Now, granted, his explosiveness really wasn't there. I mean, he doesn't exactly have the arm strength that Colin Kaepernick does, or at least with the bullet passes anyway. He doesn't throw the big deep routes or anything else. But what he did was he became a game manager. He became a guy that threw the ball significantly less, and they depended a lot on a conservative style of offense. That's what Harbaugh did, and they just made him a, don't take too many risky passes kind of quarterback. Make the sure passes, you don't have it, either take the sack or throw it away, which worked. They got to the NFC Championship game in 2011, for heaven's sakes. It worked. Even Alex Smith, impressed a lot of people the week before in the divisional round with a win over the Saints. That was really the high point, I think, of Alex Smith's NFL career so far. And it really wasn't his fault that the Niners, they didn't get into the Super Bowl. That was a couple bad turnovers by Williams. But it also wasn't Alex Smith's fault that they would win, that they won the game either. Alex didn't win the game and he didn't lose the game. That was the whole style of play. So to blame him for being eventually the one to lose the game in that NFC title game against the Giants, that's folly. He didn't win it either, but that's just the way it is. And then this last year in 2012, he's out there, he's doing fine, and then he gets injured in week 10, I believe, and with a concussion, kind of sad there. Kaepernick steps in, lights up the Bears, and before you know it, history is made. He takes them to the Super Bowl with Alex watching from the sideline. So it's kind of sad, really, at the end there for Alex, because he didn't really do anything wrong. Got a concussion. Another guy got up there and just lit up the league, really. So just kind of a pity of how it ended. And I would have loved to see it end a lot better in San Francisco. I really would have. As for his future with the Chiefs, to be honest with you, I don't think it's very bright. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad Alex Smith is going to a new team because he deserves to be a starter in the NFL. He deserves to be out there and to play at least one more season as a starter. Heck, even 2 or 3 with the rate he was going for Jim Harbaugh. He deserves that. He deserves a team to call his own. What I mean when I say that it doesn't look well in Kansas City is that, to me, he's going to the wrong coach. Andy Reid is there looking to start anew himself, being the head coach of the Chiefs now. And really, Andy Reid's offense is very different. It's a lot of passes, very quick moving. They're not a very he doesn't really run conservative offenses. If you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan, you kind of know this already. He's not the kind of guy to lean on a running game. Now that might change considering now he has Jamal Charles as a running back, but knowing Andy Reid and knowing the habits of coaches, outlook not so good. That's just all I got to say there. I'm not going to say that Alex Smith doesn't have a fighting chance, because he does. you never know what Andy Reid can do with Alex Smith, a new quarterback. He's kind of mobile himself. He's no Michael Vick or Kaepernick, but he can damn sure move better than Brady or Manning. That's for sure. But still, I don't think that throwing it a lot really for Alex is going to help. And taking a lot of hits, especially with a concussion back just this last season, is not the way to go either. So it's kind of, I think it's a bit of a question mark of what they should do with him there. Knowing Andy Reid, he just might have him throw a lot, which is not the style I think Smith was accustomed to. They tried that in San Francisco. It didn't work. That's why they switched to a conservative offense and made him a game manager. That's the kind of system Alex Smith needs to be in order to survive in the league. If Andy Reid doesn't implement that in 2 or 3 years, he might go looking for a new quarterback anyway. Heck, I've heard that he might just draft one in this upcoming draft in April. Just to have someone else to get ready. In the back pocket. In that respect, that really sucks. Leaving San Francisco with a coach coming in, drafting a new quarterback to kind of study under you and eventually take your place. I think that Andy Reid might be doing the same thing. Yeah, that's not that great. Anyway, back to San Francisco, though. What do they need to do with all the picks that they have now? With this second-round pick that's coming in for this year's draft, that's the 34th overall pick in the draft. They also have a mid-conditional one, though. That's for next year's draft, anyway. Of course, what do you do with all those picks with a team that has almost everything? You, of course, need to fill in the gaps. And really, there's only one gap on that team. Maybe special teams, but that's not really a big gap that any team really tries to solve that much anyway. But what I'm talking about is corners and defensive backs. That's what they need in this draft. Look for the Niners to try and pick up a solid corner in the first round, and maybe another one or some other defensive back with that 34th overall pick as well. That's what the Niners need to do. I've heard another scenario, I think was suggested on Yahoo by one writer, that they should trade a bunch of those picks for Darrelle Revis and see if he'll commit long term. If not, just have him for a 1-year stint, like they did with Deion Sanders in the 90s. It's not a bad idea, but the problem with that is I think it would be a 1-year stint because Revis is all about the money, and I don't think the Niners would have the cap room or really the will to sign Revis long term. And also, Revis is coming off an ACL tear. That's a very tricky thing to deal with. Not everybody can recover from that injury like Adrian Peterson has done. Revis's abilities to me are a bit of a question mark because of the injury. Now, if he's healthy and everything's fine, he's the best corner in the league, and theoretically you should get him and put everything you got in trying to win next season. But, if he's not, it's a big gamble. It really is. To me, it's a big gamble either way. Because you're wasting draft picks on a guy that's going to possibly be there just 1 year. Want to stalk me online? Follow me on Twitter at thesportsconsf. Also follow me on thesportscon.blogspot.com. I'm Daniel saying thanks to Alex Smith for the memory. Goodbye.